This is LeetCode problem reverse substring between each pair of parentheses. Um, so this problem, in this problem, you're given a string S with lowercase English letters and brackets, and you have to reverse the string in each pair of matching parentheses, starting from the innermost one. The result should not contain any brackets. So this is a kind of a tricky problem, like when you first try to figure it out, but in reality, this is actually kind of simple. At least the code is. Um, so what they want you to do is they want you to reverse every string, right, that's contained inside two pairs of parentheses, an open and a closed. But they want you to start from the innermost one. So like, you see how here it says love. Love is reversed first, and then you and I are connected to it, and then the result is reversed after that to get I love you. And then the same thing happens here with this one. So I'm going to show you how this is done and how we're going to do it. And we're going to use a simple test case of string A, B, C, D. So it doesn't really matter. Um, I mean, like the string has to have at least, one parentheses, right? I think that's, yeah, it's guaranteed that all parentheses are balanced. So you're not going to get like, one parentheses and then another, one open parentheses and then like three closed. Like that's not going to happen here. Everything is going to be equal. So you know that you can rely on that in this case. So what you can do essentially is like you're going to use a stack for this problem, right? So you're going to initialize a stack. We're just going to call this, pretend that's an S, stack. And then as we iterate through the string, right, this string, we're going to encounter the parentheses first. So it's going to equal this. That's going to be the first iteration. And then we're going to get this, and then this. And then basically just each character is going to get appended into the stack until the stack detects a closing parentheses. When we get a closing parentheses, it means what? It means that we are done with this string, because the string is finished now, right? Because it's, whatever's in the parentheses is what we need. So we're going to initialize a temp array. And what do we know about stack operations in general is that they are what? Last in, first out, right? So to reverse the string, we need to do DCBA. Well, since we have a closing parentheses now, all we have to do is just keep popping the stack until we reach the open parentheses, because we know at that point, right, that the stack or that the string is going to end at that point. So we keep popping and we get D, A, B, C. I'm sorry, no. It's D, C, B, and then A. And then we stop before, like, we stop when we reach a parentheses, another one, right, that matches this one, a opening parentheses. And then we're going to pop again to just like get rid of it, right? So that way the stack doesn't have, a just a random parentheses there. And then we're going to use a function called extend. what this does is it basically like for a stack it takes an array and it adds it to the stack, right? So it's going to take all these values and it's going to append it to the end of the stack essentially. So the stack is going to get extended um, with DCBA, and DCBA is pretty much the answer to the first one, yeah. And that's how it's going to be for this one and for the other one. And then when you see the code here, you can see that if we start off by initializing a stack, and then for C, if C equals closing parentheses, we initialize the temp array, while the peak of the stack is not equal to what? The opening parentheses. Um, we keep popping and we append to the temp array, and then we do an extra pop to get rid of the extra parentheses that we have on the stack still, and then we do extend, right? Basically what I said earlier. Um, if we don't have a if we don't encounter a closing parentheses, we just append, and then we just join. So just to show you here, you can see that it passes all the test case that LeetCode gives it. And I guess there's probably a better solution for this, but I mean this is like the most I guess intuitive, I would think, or just like the easiest to understand. Uh, so yeah, some of these stack problems can be kind of tricky, but the key is to kind of think, I guess, in terms of like the last in first out model, really, and then just like try to manipulate as much as you can from there.